And speaking of promotions that we do love, and another promotion that is currently not running any shows right now is MLW, Major League Wrestling. We love MLW. We've had guests on the show, Brian Pillman Jr., Devon Eriks. I'm working on maybe another interview very soon with Mr. Richard Holiday, so fingers crossed on that. We get that done soon. But MLW, they were in the news the last few days. Some exciting stuff. And Richard, I'll let you take this one. This was one you actually reported to me first.
Oh, God. Well, it looks as if Jacob Fatu has signed an extension on his contract, and he's going to be sticking around with MLW till about late 2025. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, first off, congrats to Jacob. I mean, he's the current MLW World Champion. He's a Bay Area guy. We've seen him wrestle for years with all the various Bay Area promotions, All Pro Wrestling, West Coast Pro, and even up in Petaluma as well. So we love Jacob Fatu. Like I said, he's a Bay Area guy. He does so much work for the Bay Area wrestling scene, Northern California. And yeah, he's part of the whole just gigantic, legendary wrestling family that is the Samoan dynasty, all that stuff. And so I'm excited. That's awesome. Congrats to Jacob that he's got a long-term contract. I mean, I know for a lot of wrestlers, that's something they all want to have a long-term deal with the promotion.
Part of it, I think, is also they're probably getting that DAZN money.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I didn't think about that. So, Richard, I mean, you told me about this deal. I guess I'm trying to look at the whole picture of it. I'm kind of curious, why would he sign such a long-term deal for the next 5 years? And I know before he signed the first long-term deal with MLW, there were rumors of him. NXT was interested in him. I think even AEW, like a lot of various promotions were interested in him. He's a big dude. He's very athletic in the ring. He's a monster in the ring. So there's a lot of great qualities to him that where people were interested in. And then he ended up signing with MLW. And I to be honest, I thought, he might sign this initial deal for a couple years. And then once he builds up his name and following, he'll try to maybe look for a deal with a quote bigger promotion. But I don't know. Maybe he's just happy where he's at. I don't know, Richard, what are you kind of thinking about why he signed such a long-term deal?
I think he's sticking around because of the creative aspect. You always hear Jim Ross talk about people will stick around or leave because of cash or creative. And I think MLW's a heavy heel company. So the heels kind of run the show there, and he's the champion. So he's on top of the world. If you look at kind of who they signed to longer term deals, Myron Reed, Selena De La Renta, who I think is money anywhere she goes.
Yeah.
Hammerstone re-signed, I believe, and
Richard Holiday.
So they
got
Hammerstone. You just look at the guy and you think anyone would want him.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I think the people that are sticking around know that they're going to be used the way that they want to be presented. So they're staying for that reason. I mean, I don't know what they're getting in terms of money, but maybe they do get more money, and because they're not wrestling in the biggest of venues, so but they have TV deals, so that money might be going in the wrestler's pocket opposed to selling out big arenas.
Well, I from what I've heard in the past, I think MLW, they control like Jacob's independent show bookings, and to that sense, I mean, I was like, ooh, that kind of. I think when you initially hear that, it's like, oh, they control all that. But, he's still wrestling in APW and West Coast Pros. And so we still got to see him out here. So it's cool that MLW lets him still do stuff in his hometown area. So that's cool. And I mean, yeah, maybe he feels if he goes to these other promotions, they're all stocked up with talent. So it's very much like he could be a big fish in a small pond type of mentality. Sure, he can go to WWE, NXT, but they got plenty of big guys, and they got the pick of whoever they want from around the world. Even AEW now, I mean, as time goes on, and they're getting more of that TV money from TNT, and they've been signing a lot of people too. I mean, to their credit, they've been signing a lot of people, and even using people who maybe work in other promotions and make appearances there, so they kind of give them some extra cash during this pandemic. And so AEW, even though they're a new promotion, they're full. Their roster is full. So for him, who knows? Maybe we should start reaching out to him and kind of maybe get an interview out of him, and he can kind of explain more. But maybe he just feels he just has, as you said, Richard, maybe more control in MLW. He can be the big fish in the small pond.
Well, do you think that maybe he didn't have an AEW reach out because he didn't work for the NWA?
You never know.
That's what I was going to ask you, Richard. It's like, what's your thoughts on AEW taking all the NWA talent as of late?
you know what they're watching.
Yeah, I was going to say they're watching that. So, and then Tom, you just
remember when WCW used to cherry pick all the ECW guys?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember berries, but no, I was just going to say, I wonder. Like, if, who knows, maybe he didn't have an offer as well. That's the other thing, too.
Yeah. How could you not? The dude has been, he travels everywhere. Like, yeah. If I'm a wrestling company and I know that he's got a contract coming up, like, I'm not indicting AEW on this. I'm just saying, like, even NXT, I would hardball and get that offer. Yeah. That guy is so talented.
Look, to me, I think it's great to hear. I mean, Jacob has been able to make himself stand out in a long line of really talented, relatives, and for my money, I think he's been the best world champion in the business, and he's really good on promos. He's good in the ring. He's a great worker. It makes his opponent look great when he is not working a squash. And
he's the new best kept secret in wrestling.
Exactly, and with all the talent leaving MLW for bigger platforms, it's nice to see someone stick with the guys that gave him the chance in the first place. And I hope Fatu, can carry MLW to the next level.
Well, also, as you guys just kind of were mentioning, is like, I'm surprised WWE doesn't want him at some point, because Court Bauer, I've heard him on his interview with Talk is Jericho, with Chris Jericho. What he likes about Jacob is it's like Umaga 2.0, and he worked with Umaga a lot, and Umaga was related to Jacob. So it's like I think that's why Court Bauer is so excited to work with Jacob.
It's everyone and then Samoa Joe.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
That's Samoans in wrestling, is everyone and Samoa Joe.
He's the one-off that's like just non-family member.
I'm sure if you look in a family tree somewhere down the line, he's in there.
Yeah, so. Like 100 years ago, they were connected somehow. But yeah. So with Jacob Fatu, I know Court Bauer really likes him because he sees Umaga in him. And obviously, you said there's the family connection, and Court worked with Umaga a lot back in the day. So maybe that's the other thing. Maybe Court and Jacob have a special friendship that he's like, I want to make you Umaga 2.0. And, Contra Unit is a great thing right now. He wants to see that faction kind of go long term. I don't know what the exact reasoning is, but as long as Jacob's happy.
You had the Von Erichs on too, and I don't remember if it was on here or it was in an interview somewhere, but they mentioned that they didn't want to go anywhere either. So I guess if you're working at MLW, you're pretty happy.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, everyone's entitled to their own life decisions and what makes them happy. Like the Von Erichs, I believe they had an offer from NXT, but they turned it down because they didn't want to leave Hawaii and move to Florida. They want to stay there. So I think for some of these guys, it's up to them what they want to do with their career. And like I said, maybe
it's not all about money. That's what it is at the end of the day. And to be honest, none of us know what they're getting paid.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe Jacob, there's some other things, other deals he can get, with merch and some other opportunities and freedom he has with MLW that he couldn't get with other promotions. And yeah, like the Von Erichs, they like staying in Hawaii and just flying over for events and flying back home. And so everyone's everyone's entitled to their own opinion or how they want to run their life and what makes them happy. Like I said, at the end of the day, I think we were so used to, if you're a wrestler, the goal was just to get to WWE, and it's not that anymore. It's it's things have changed, and I think what people want to do with their lives. So
you got options.
There's options.
And so I'm happy for Jacob Fatu, and it sounds like during this prime years in his wrestling career, he's going to be with MLW. And it's cool. With all the names you just listed, MLW is taking things seriously. They're signing down their core roster for long term, and they're trying to build something with. And if I can talk to Richard Holiday soon, that's something I want to ask about. It must be an exciting time to show that they're doing things for long term. And real quick, we'll just touch on this. I know we talk a lot MLW stuff. Richard's playing with a knife in his room. But
quarantine.
It's getting to you. You should have a question mark mask on.
I had something in my teeth.
So we saw this the other day, and it's been going around the rumors that MLW is exploring the option of putting on an island or performing an event on an island.
It's like
Wrestle
UFC.
Island.
Yeah,
Wrestle Island.
It's like UFC Fight Island.
So yeah, and even MLW, it's on their website as a press release. So they're looking at either Hawaii or Puerto Rico to put on a show, an outdoor show, and get an event out there. So Richard, when you hear Wrestle Island, it must be kind of an exciting time, and it gives for MLW a reason to put on a show again.
I think it would be really, really cool if they did it outside of an arena and they did it outside. Otherwise, it's just another show. That's my feeling on it. Because if you're trying to get something different, that's the way to go. Get it something like a Road Wild.
Say Bash at the beach somewhere,
or Bash at the beach when it's on the beach or whatever. It just looks different. It's something that kind of grabs your attention.
Well, that's something we've heard about with this pandemic is it's better to do stuff outdoors so that way, like germs flying around the air doesn't get stuck inside like a 4-wall room. Instead, if you're outdoors, and you're socially distanced, it's easier, or it's a much better environment to put on an event of sort. I mean, we've seen drive-through or drive-in concerts here in the Bay Area. We've seen other promotions like Game Changer Wrestling out in the East Coast. They've been putting on some shows as of late outdoors, but everyone's spread up, wearing masks, spread apart, like 6 feet apart. So there's a variety of people in various entertainment platforms who are trying to put on shows, and it's the common thread there is it's outdoors. So as far as wrestling goes, it seems like that's a logical move for them, is do something outdoors as well. So, I mean, personally, I think it'd be great if it was in Hawaii. I know Puerto Rico. I know the latest episode of Pulp Fusion, MLW Pulp Fusion, that's on their YouTube page, is one of their features. Savio Vega is an MLW. I'm sure he wants to get the event down there. I think Hawaii might be a little bit nicer, just, the Von Erichs, because don't they have like big property out there?
They have a compound.
They have a compound. And I don't know. I mean, because Hawaii right now is going through a part of Hurricane Douglas. Yeah.
I mean, I know like right now at the time of recording, they're going through some stuff. So hopefully if they do plan something, it'll be down the road when this hurricane's passed through. And
they might turn into a hurricane relief show. No joke there.
That would work.
That'd be a great thread or a great tie-in for them. And so, if the Von Erichs can host maybe something on their property, I think that'd be cool. Maybe we have to hit up our buddy AJ Kirsch and see if he knows any insight, if he's going to have planned to go to Hawaii anytime soon to call a match out there. So that's cool. So for MLW, it sounds like during this pandemic, they're doing their best to stay safe, healthy, and just get business done and plan for the return of eventual live shows and get their roster all set. So good stuff there. So we love MLW.